My name is Donato Vaccaro. I'm with the Consumer Reports National Research Center, and I feel very lucky to be a part of this effort. A lot of the surveys that we do in the Consumer Reports National Research Center are surveys that are used for content in the magazine. Specifically, we do surveys on cars, we ask people about products they own and whether or not they're reliable. This kind of survey really is a whole different tone, and hearing the stories that we just heard really underscores that. This past fall, the Consumer Reports National Research Center worked with the Consumer Reports editorial department to design our first ever survey about the distracted driving behaviors of the American public. These survey results were published in the April 2011 issue that many of you have in front of you. On page 22, the story on distracted driving covers some of the statistics I'll mention. We contracted with a vendor, Knowledge Networks, who obtains nationally representative samples. They follow the highest standards for getting a nationally representative sample. To be eligible to participate, respondents had to be 18 years or older. They had to be a licensed driver who drove in the past month. Our sample had 1,026 qualified respondents, and it was fielded in late November, early December. We designed the survey to help guide Consumer Reports advice about how to inform and protect consumers about some of the dangers associated with driving while distracted. The ultimate goal is to advise them about safe driving habits. One of the most important things we did was to set out to measure the specific prevalence of distracted driving behaviors. We also asked about their attitudes. We focused on the behaviors that occurred in the past 30 days. Sometimes when people do surveys, they ask, did you ever do something? We decided it was really important to operationalize specific distracted behaviors and ask about what people did they do those behaviors or not in the past 30 days. We first asked about whether they saw other people engaging in such behaviors. We did that for a specific reason. We wanted to increase the chances that they would be honest about themselves if they would first tell us about other people's behavior. The vast majority of respondents, 94% of them, told us that they had seen other drivers talking on a cell phone while driving in the past month. Almost 2/3 reported seeing other drivers texting using a cell phone or some other mobile device. When we asked them what they themselves had done in the past month while driving, we found that 45% said that they had talked on a handheld phone while they had it in their hand. We specifically wrote the survey question that way. 13% reported that they texted while driving in the past 30 days. We looked at the results for younger respondents, and that's one of the main reasons that we're here today. We found that though it wasn't surprising younger drivers were engaging in these more risky behaviors, some of the statistics were striking nonetheless. Among respondents that were less than 30 years old, nearly 1 in 3 admitted texting behind the wheel in the past month. That was a much higher rate than we found for other drivers. Only 9% of the other drivers texted while driving. Younger respondents were also much more likely to talk on a phone while driving. 63% said so. That compares with 41% for the older drivers. It's possible that these are underestimates. Of course, answering a survey like this, there's some social desirability with it. It's hard to say for sure. But at the very least, they're underestimates. In terms of attitudes we measured, in general, younger people were less concerned about driving while distracted. Only 30% of younger respondents felt it was very dangerous to phone someone with a handheld phone, compared with 53% of those who were 30 or older. Across a variety of driving situations that we asked about, for example, we asked about driving through a busy intersection. We asked about driving at a high speed on a highway. We asked about like a rural road or a road that you're familiar with. And across all of these driving situations, we found that younger drivers were much less likely to consider it unsafe. In our survey, 78% of respondents said they had reduced or stopped behaviors related to distracted driving. And as Jim Guest mentioned earlier, among survey respondents who had changed or stopped their behaviors related to distracted driving, 2/3 said they did so because of reading or hearing about the dangers associated with distracted driving. Thus, our survey really underscored the point that getting the message out about distracted driving is very important to affect behavior change. These and other survey results are mentioned in the April issue, as I mentioned. and they will also be discussed in blogs and other Consumer Reports media.